over the last few years, demand for industrial warehouse space has gone through the roof, leading to rent and value increases that the sector has never seen before and creating an incredible amount of opportunity for both investment firms and real estate professionals in the space. And at the same time that we've seen record high demand for industrial properties, the record high increases in home values that we saw in 2020 and 2021 have arguably resulted in just as much demand for apartments, creating a similar pattern around investment volume and hiring trends in the multifamily sector as well. Even for property types that have seen their fair share of struggles over the past 2 years, like retail, office, and hotels, we're now starting to see investors beginning to pursue adaptive reuse plays, capitalizing on the opportunity to reposition these assets into apartment complexes, condos, or last mile distribution centers. And even though this is all great news for the real estate industry as a whole, at a time when it feels like there's opportunity in every part of the business, as an individual, it can be hard to zoom out and make a decision on which property type you want to focus on. So to help out with this process, in case you're just getting into the industry today and not sure where you want to get involved, in this video, let's walk through my 3 biggest pieces of advice when choosing a real estate product type that you want to build your career in and where you want to concentrate your efforts when getting started in the business. So even though a lot of the skill sets that you'll build in any real estate analyst role will be applicable across asset classes, one of the biggest decisions that you'll have to make as you progress as a real estate professional is the product type that you want to specialize in and where you want to focus your efforts. Retail properties operate differently than apartment complexes. The biggest players in the industrial sector aren't necessarily active in the hotel space, and a knowledge of Class A office rents won't help you much when trying to estimate renovation costs for a multifamily deal. And because of this, the sooner you can begin working on the property type you want to focus on long term, the better off you're going to be, and the more quickly you'll start to gain experience, build a network, and advance your career in whichever sector you choose. Most successful real estate careers are built over decades, and the people who really crush it in this industry are the ones that start out by playing the long game, which leads me to my first recommendation on this list, which is to follow your interest first ahead of market cycles. There's no denying that industrial real estate is absolutely on fire right now, and with that, this has become one of the most popular asset classes for aspiring real estate analysts to target for their first job in the business. However, just like learning any other skill, becoming an expert in a particular product type requires study, reps, and practice, and if you can't get excited about loading docks and clear heights, it's probably going to be tough for you to progress within the industrial sector regardless of how hot this part of the industry has become. Real estate is also extremely cyclical in nature, so even though industrial rents and values have done nothing but increase lately, we may see a completely different supply and demand landscape just a few years from now. And if all of a sudden industrial assets start to see a big unexpected drop in demand, you'll be in for a pretty rude awakening if you're not interested in the work you're doing and you're also not hitting the income targets that you got into this sector for in the first place. Every product type has its day in commercial real estate, but there are always opportunities to create value in any asset class, and you can find brokers and investors who have been extremely successful in every part of the business. And in my experience, those extremely successful brokers and investors end up being the people who are the most dedicated to their craft over a sustained period of time. And if you choose a product type based on your interests and a subject that you're willing to really dig into, this is the secret to maximizing your chances of success in the industry and also being in the right place at the right time when the cycle does inevitably move in your favor. Now, with all of that said, I also know that a lot of you guys watching this channel don't have any experience in the industry yet, and without any on-the-job context, you might not have a preference for one sector over another. So if you're watching this video and that sounds like you, if you're still undecided, my second recommendation on this list is when in doubt, the retail, office, or industrial sectors are usually your best bet. Now, obviously, these product types have their differences, and it's not always a seamless transition to bounce around between the three. However, when working in any of these sectors, the vast majority of the skills that you'll learn will end up being applicable across all asset classes, especially commercial leasing and lease analysis and commercial lease modeling, either in Excel or through a software like Argus. In analyst roles at multifamily or hospitality focused firms, you'll generally be working on relatively simple, almost linear cash flows with a clear path to value creation through renovations or operating expense reductions. But when you're working on commercial deals, value creation can be much more nuanced with things like operating expense reimbursement structures, TI packages, weighted average lease terms, and even percentage rent clauses, often having a huge effect on the cash flows that a property can generate and how profitable investing in a deal can actually be. So for you, by starting your career in the retail, office, or industrial sectors, even if you do decide to make a move into a different product type after a few years in the business, in most cases, the majority of your skills will end up being transferable to the next asset class you transition into, and you'll just have to fill in the gaps on the operations of that new property type and the major players that exist in the space. And as an added bonus to this strategy, if you do end up moving into the multifamily or hospitality sectors in the future, you'll come into that next role with valuable experience that most of your peers won't have to help the company tackle unique projects like deals with a ground floor retail component or full-blown mixed-use properties with a significant number of commercial leases. Now, if you don't have a specific product type interest yet, and you also want to get more specific than just retail, office, or industrial, my final recommendation on this list when choosing a sector to focus on is to be a contrarian and to look where others aren't looking. Industrial and multifamily are some of the hottest product types in the industry today, and because of this, the vast majority of people looking to break into this industry are specifically targeting jobs in one of these two sectors, while the demand for positions at retail, office, and hospitality focused firms has dropped considerably over the last few years. And as far as job opportunities are concerned, this means that the competition for jobs at multifamily and industrial focused firms is also extremely high right now, and positions in the retail, office, and hospitality sectors are almost wide open in comparison. And again, if you step back and realize that real estate moves in cycles, by getting involved with a product type at a time when it's least popular, chances are that you're really buying the dip from a career perspective, and by the time other people in the industry catch on, you will have already built up a track record, a skill set, and a network that will help you absolutely crush it when the economic tides do ultimately shift in your favor. The people who are experiencing the most success in the multifamily and industrial asset classes right now are the ones who were in these sectors before they were cool, with the belief that at some point their product type will get hot and they would be ready when that opportunity struck. Property types that tend to have the least amount of interest also tend to be the sectors with the most amount of distress, so while it's pretty unlikely that you'll stumble across a multifamily or industrial deal today at a significant discount to market value, it's very likely that you'll be able to find opportunities to buy struggling retail shopping centers or office buildings with the ability to quickly add value by releasing a deal or repurposing a property into a higher and better use. So if you're on the fence about which part of the industry you want to focus on, I hope this was helpful in narrowing down your search, whether you're trying to land your first job in the business or do your first deal. And if you want some more personalized help with breaking into the industry and want to tighten up your modeling and analysis skill sets to prepare for the interview process at a top real estate private equity or brokerage firm, as always, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Break Into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Break Into CRE Analyst Certification Exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on this channel on commercial real estate careers, make sure to hit the like button to let me know, and let me know in the comments which product type you're focusing on right now and how you came to that decision. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.